I recently got a question from Jan Mercedes. This is from you, brother. So he says, while it's super impressive what you're up to, I'm mostly exploring multifamily and commercial right now, but I'm curious about learning across other asset types. When you work across these different asset types, do you find funding or structuring the deals tend to be the biggest challenge, or is it more operations and scaling? For me, what I have always found is this: everything is within the deal. So I just go all in on making the discovery with the seller. So that's the first thing. Make sure you got a hell of a deal. That's the first thing. So if you're first starting out, I do not recommend going right into the builds. The first thing that you've got to do it all matters where you're at. So if you got, let's say $5, $10, $20 million that you're sitting on, you want to keep and you want to spend it, 100%, you got to pick whatever asset class that you're willing to go the long haul with. Just know this: in development, everything takes a lot longer than what you possibly think it's going to take. So, a light industrial, just to get raw to horizontal to vertical, that means raw land to then building out the horizontal and then going vertical on that. Any project could take anywhere from a year to 2 to 3 years. It all matters how big it is, and it all matters the scale. So all of it takes time. So if you've got that kind of capital and that kind of team, just remember it's going to take time. One of the best things an early mentor told me that I never forgot, and he just sold a property. I think he made like $50 million off of one deal. He did fantastic. And I remember him telling me once we finished the meeting, he said, "Franklin, just remember this. Everything takes a long time. So make sure that you have capital coming in from other resources rather than just the development side." So what I would say is, as you grow, just make sure you always have resources coming in, capital coming in from other sources, because in development, it takes a long time. That's why a lot of these family offices, these bigger PE company, or PE means private equity groups, they're in it, but they already are capital heavy, and they personally probably already have assets they're already producing. I learned from the ground up. So I learned literally from doing houses, and then, when it came down to development, that kind of came on me. I didn't come on it. So I had to kind of learn the hard way on exactly how long certain things take. My first deal, I took from 1 house to 41 houses on 9 acres of land, sold to KB Homes for $1.25 million, that they named the street after me, Cruz Court. But that whole entire transaction, from getting the deal, was November of 2019 to finally closing it out and making money on it with KB Homes, negotiating and everything else. I think we closed that out. It was August 2020 or August 2021. It basically took about 18 to 24 months to do all the approvals and entitlements, get all the studies done, get the rezoning complete, and then finalizing the project. And that's not including, I sold this approved and entitled, meaning I did not do the horizontal or the vertical part. That was KB side. So what I would say, hopefully I'm answering a damn question on this one, man. So when you come across these different asset classes, do you find funding or structuring the deal to me, structuring the deal is the funnest part. That's the easy part. That's not a hard time. And funding the deal, it all matters. The way I always fund all my properties, and I learned this on the residential side to then commercial side, and I found that this just works, is one, you've got to understand when you're dealing with private people, this is not banks, right? Even banks think this way too, but private individuals, and all of my deals I've always done has almost 100% of the time have been private individuals. So the number one thing that they care about is this. They want to know security. How is their money secured? Period, right? That could mean that you have an LOI on the property, that you already have something going on with the property, like some type of security, right? And an LOI means you already have a buyer. So now they're secured by a loan, a mortgage, something that their money is secured on that hard asset. Plus, you already got a buyer for the property, right? Then if you already have a buyer, how much, right? So like, for example, when I got the property for the KB Homes deal, I got that deal for $650,000. I had a LOI from KB Homes in the beginning for, I think it was $2.1 million. So $2.1 million was the first LOI. And so when you have those kind of numbers, you're just like, all right, this is going to be gold. And again, everything I'm sharing as well is on my website. Go to trueinvestors.com. You'll see I put all the case studies there. So literally you can go one by one and check it out. And what I found was, as long as you have security and you're showcasing security and you're having conversations with the private lender, showing them the proof of everything you're talking about, saying, hey, I've got the security. This is exactly how it's going to go down. When are they going to get paid back? Hey, when we get this deal closed out, this could take anywhere from 12 to 18 months, but you're going to get paid a pref on your money. That means, like, no matter what, you can get a preferred interest rate on your money, and you can possibly get, let's say, a percentage of the deal. For me, when I first started out, I always recommend make sure that your private investors have at least some kind of percentage of the deal. If they have a percentage of the deal, they feel more inclined, because you could let them know, say, hey man, this is my first time doing this, or I haven't done this, but this is what I've got. Here's your security, a mortgage, and then here's your other security. I already got a buyer. And then now we got to go from here to here is the finish line, which is the approvals and entitlements. And I already know all the steps. Boom, 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 boom. So if you do that, now they're good to go, right? And then just make a fair offer. So that is what I've found. When it comes down to, I just never had a problem with funding, because I always made sure that I got a killer of a deal with the seller. And that's the other thing. That's probably my what other people have called my unique brilliance, right? Other people have said that to me. They've said, your unique brilliance is that you know how you've got down the acquisition process so down that you just get great deals with sellers. But I know what I'm doing. Like, I know what I'm looking for. I know how to negotiate and create a win-win. When you're dealing with that seller, you're having the conversation, sharing with them. And hopefully you're understanding. If you are, write a comment below if you can. Let me know that you guys are alive, that you're getting something out of this. Would be great. Thank you. Or share it as well with somebody who's new in the business, or going in the business, or probably at this item. So what I've learned is that you have to take the studying serious. So for me, I'm constantly writing stuff down in my notes. Everything I'm learning every single day is because this is your school. Now, the cool thing is, if you're great at it, most people that are great at development, their net worth starts with a B. A B. Big deal, right? So anyway, hopefully this helps. Hopefully you're getting something out of it. And if you want to check out a whole bunch of more case studies, you can go to trueinvestors.com, check them all out. And we'll take it from there. All right, bye. Hopefully you got something out of it.